Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Hannah and I talk about all things cruelty-free and vegan in the fashion, beauty, and lifestyle space. So today I thought I would do a foundation review. It's been a while since I've done one of these and I've been very curious about this foundation from Milk Makeup. It is the Blur Liquid Foundation and it is supposed to be a matte foundation. Now I have combination skin, so honestly, depending on my mood, I will go for a more hydrating foundation or I'll go for a more matte foundation. If I know I'm going to be like sweating and outside, I will definitely go for a matte foundation. So in the summer, I do tend to reach for these a little bit more. Whereas in the winter, when my skin is a lot more dry, I definitely reach more for the hydrating foundations. But like I said, I just kind of switch it up based on my mood. But I have a feeling I'm gonna really like this and it has really good reviews. So I'm very excited to try it out. This is actually, other than the mascara, this is the first Milk product I've ever tried out. I have been so curious for so long, but for some reason I just have not ordered anything from them yet. And I also happened to pick up their Hydro Grip Primer, so I figured it would be a good idea to try these together since they are from the same brand and I can kind of like review both of them at the same time for you because I have not tried either one, which is so hard. You have no idea. They've just been sitting on my vanity staring at me for so long. And so I'm so excited to finally be filming this. So I already did my eyebrows. I've been doing my eyebrows before I've been doing my foundation lately and it's been working out really well. So that's why they look so dark and bold right now. I got the shade Warm Medium, which I feel like is gonna be a good shade for me. We'll see once I put it on. So this is 1 fluid ounce and to be honest, it feels smaller and I don't know if that's just because a lot of the foundations I use come in containers like this. Like this is, let's see how much this is. This is 1.5 fluid ounces, 1.52 to be exact. So yeah, you do get a little bit more when it's this size. So we'll see if I feel like I go through it quickly. I will definitely let you guys know. Let's go ahead and start with the primer. I've tried grip primers before and I do really like them just for getting the foundation to stick to your face. So this doesn't really have much of a smell. I kind of expected a smell. I feel like a lot of primers have a nice smell, but this one, very like neutral smell. It is sinking into my skin. It's definitely a little sticky, but I wouldn't say it's the stickiest primer that I've ever used. The Cover FX Grip Primer is like instantly very sticky once you put it on your skin, and this one's just like kind of sticky, if that makes sense. Not quite as sticky. So now that that is all sunk in, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the foundation. So it has like a very interesting packaging. It's not like anything that I have. So let's just do a couple dots. I can see why they say shake it because it definitely is a little runny. And then I'm gonna blend it out with this Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. Okay, this is definitely pretty dark. Looks darker on my skin, I think, than it does in the packaging. So this might not be the right color for me. Okay, so definitely not the right shade for me at all. This is very almost orange and it doesn't look quite like that in the packaging. It looks a lot more orange on my skin. Honestly, even with self-tanner on my tannest days, this would probably be too dark for me. So I would definitely want to try the shade underneath it. I feel like I have a hard time. I either get too light or I get too dark. It's really, really hard for me to find that sweet spot. I still am going to wear it today and still try to review it as best as possible for you guys. It is starting to look more matte as it's settling into the skin, but when I first put it on, it still was looking a little hydrating. But now that it is sitting here for a while, it's definitely starting to take on more of a matte finish. I'm looking at my screen over here, so if I'm looking over here, that's why. And then I have my mirror here. The finish is really pretty. It doesn't look cakey by any means, and I definitely felt like a little goes a long way. Like I just did probably like 2.5, 3 total squirts from this bottle that were like pea-sized to get this much coverage, so you really don't need a lot, and that is good. All right, so now I'm gonna put on my concealer and my cream contour. So I've been using this concealer from Kosas in the shade 2, and I really like this concealer a lot. I have like quite a few concealers right now, and this is the one that I reach for the most. So I feel like that says a lot. It's really hydrating, but it gives you a really good amount of coverage as well. So, all right, so I'm just highlighting the places that I like to highlight, and I'm gonna blend that out with the same sponge on the other side. You can really see with the concealer on how dark this foundation is for me. Such a bummer, because in the tube it looks like it would match me really well. And then on the face, it just, I don't know if it oxidized or what happened. And then this is the contour that I use. It's actually concealer by Jouer, and it's in the color Coffee. And I just find it to be a really nice color. I like how small the pen is because I feel like I have more precision with where I apply it. And I'm gonna blend that out. Okay, so that is done. I'm just gonna lightly add some powder to set everything, mostly just for my T-zone areas that are a little more oily. It really doesn't need it in the other areas, and I don't want to make it too matte, and I don't want to make it look cakey, because right now it doesn't look cakey, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this Veil Translucent Setting Powder from Hourglass and just lightly dust that on. All right, and I am going to finish the rest of my makeup off camera, and I'll be back to talk to you guys in just a second. All right, so I have finished the rest of my makeup, and I actually feel like the color looks a lot better after I've done all of my makeup. It doesn't look quite as orange, and it doesn't look quite as dark, so that's really good. I still think I would probably want like just a little bit lighter of a shade for my everyday use, but I will definitely just be mixing this with lighter foundations in the meantime, just so it doesn't go to complete waste. Hopefully that's helpful. Now that everything is on, obviously I've highlighted and added a setting spray, so I do have a little bit of a glow happening here. But other than that, everything else is really matte and looks really good. I think that matte foundations are really nice when it comes to reducing the visible texture to your skin. Obviously, we all have texture on our skin, and I think sometimes when you're wearing a more dewy foundation, it can kind of emphasize that. And so I do think that it's really nice just to give it like a really soft kind of blurred look, and it is called blurred liquid, so I think that it's obviously achieving what it says it is meant to do. I don't think it looks cakey. It looks like I have foundation on. It doesn't look like I have a ton of makeup on, if that makes sense. Like I can still see some of my scars and like things through the foundation, but at the same time it also covered really nicely. I think if you were someone looking for a more full coverage foundation, you could definitely get that with this. You would just have to apply a second coat, but like I said, a little goes a long way. So yeah, I'm very happy with this so far, and I am just going to continue on with my day. I will check in with you guys in a little bit and give you any updates, and then I will check in with you at the end of the day again to kind of round everything up and let you know my thoughts. So see you soon. All right, so I'm making some lunch right now, but I wanted to show you guys what the foundation looks like in natural light on my cell phone without like the studio lights and stuff, so you can get a better idea of what the finish is. So as you can see, this is like where I highlighted, so we have like a little bit of a glow happening there, and then the rest of it is pretty matte. So yeah, that is what it looks like. I don't know where to look when I'm filming on my phone. All right, it has been probably about 4.5 to 5 hours now since I first put this on, so I just wanted to check in with you guys and give you an update. I would say everything looks really good still. One thing that I noticed that I really like is that it hasn't really settled into my smile lines at all, which almost all foundation does that to me. So I'm pretty shocked by that. Like, obviously it's a little bit settled in, but not nearly as bad as it normally would be at this point in the day. I am feeling a little oily on the forehead, but that's the only spot really that feels oily. Like, everything else looks really matte for the most part. You guys saw in the beginning I didn't really set it with too much powder, so if you are someone who's very oily and you want to use this foundation, I would just set it with a little bit more powder, especially in the T-zone area. So far, so good. I really like the finish. My skin tone looks so even, and it just is wearing really nicely. So far, very happy with it. Yeah, I'm gonna check in with you guys before I take off my makeup at the end of the day, but so far, so good. I'm a fan. So it is almost sundown, as you can see. I don't think I've ever filmed in this room this late before, so very interesting. I am about to make dinner, take my makeup off, and get ready for bed. So I thought I would close the video out and let you guys know my final thoughts. So at this point, since I last saw you guys, I took the dogs on a walk. I did wear a mask the whole time, so it stayed on pretty dang well considering I was wearing a mask. And other than that, I've just been hanging out at home, so haven't really been exposed to the elements, but I think that's par for the course for most of us. Definitely as time has gone on, since I last checked in with you guys, my forehead was a little bit more oily, and it still is that way because I didn't add any powder or anything. And yeah, I would say my T-zone area in general is just a little bit more on the shiny side, and that's not just from highlighter, that's just some oils peeking through. But down here it looks really matte, and around my mouth area as well, it looks really good. I would say that this is definitely a foundation that you would want to apply powder to throughout the day if you are someone who is super oily. I think that it gives you a really pretty natural matte finish without sucking your skin dry, which is my problem with a lot of matte foundations that end up looking more cakey, and they kind of just emphasize your dry spots. This one doesn't do that, but I also wouldn't say that it's got a sheen to it or a satiny finish at all. It's definitely a very true matte foundation, and I would say it stayed on really well, all things considered. Obviously I didn't go anywhere, so it's hard to say with that, but I have been wearing this all day, so I would say that this combination is a really good one for a long-lasting foundation. As far as it settling into any lines, I do have a little bit more emphasis on the smile lines than I did since I last checked in with you guys. All in all, I'm a very big fan of this foundation. I think that it has good reviews for a reason. And I think when it comes to foundations, it's all about knowing your skin type and knowing what kind of look you like. But overall, I think most people are gonna really like this, unless your skin is super dry and you are somebody who likes a dewy finish, then probably not the one to pick up. But if you're somebody with combo skin or oily skin and you're looking to combat that, I think this would be a good product to try if you have active acne as well, because it really does seem to blur your imperfections, and like I said, you could build it up for a nice coverage as well. Would I buy this again? Yes, I would definitely buy this again in a shade that's probably more suited to me. This is just so dark for my skin that it looks a little unnatural to me. So I would definitely get one shade lighter, and hopefully that will work. But overall, I am really happy with the formula, and I will definitely be reaching for this on multiple occasions. So yeah, I will zoom you guys in so that you can see a closer look of what the foundation looks like at this point in the day. And that's gonna be it for today's video. Let me know in the comments down below if you've tried either one of these products from Milk. Let me know what your favorite product is from Milk, because I definitely want to try more products after trying these two out. I really, really like these a lot. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well. Hit the bell notification if you want to be updated on when I post new videos. And I will see you guys soon with another video. Bye.